Part E. Felonies or possible felonies. Section 1. Frauds relating to deed of trust. Single-family residence. A notary public who knowingly and willfully, with intent to defraud, performs any notarial act in relation to a deed of trust on real property consisting of a single-family residence containing not more than 4 dwelling units, with knowledge that the deed of trust contains any false statements or is forged in whole or in part, is guilty of a felony. California Government Code, Section 8214-2. Section 2. Unlawful acts by one not a notary public, deeds of trust on single-family residences. Any person who is not a duly commissioned, qualified, and acting notary public who does any of the acts prohibited by California Government Code Section 8227.1 in relation to any document or instrument affecting title to, placing an encumbrance on, or placing an interest secured by a mortgage or deed of trust on, real property consisting of a single-family residence containing not more than 4 dwelling units, is guilty of a felony. California Government Code, Section 82273. California Government Code Section 8227.1 provides that it is a misdemeanor for any person who is not a duly commissioned, qualified, and acting notary public for the state of California to do any of the following: represent or hold himself or herself out to the public or to any person as being entitled to act as a notary public. Assume, use, or advertise the title of notary public in such a manner as to give the impression that the person is a notary public, or act as a notary public. Section 3. Filing false or forged documents relating to single family residences, false statements to notary public. Every person who files any false or forged document or instrument with the county recorder which affects title to, places an encumbrance on, or places an interest secured by a mortgage or deed of trust on real property consisting of a single-family residence containing not more than 4 dwelling units, with knowledge that the document is false or forged, is punishable, in addition to any other punishment, by a fine not exceeding $75,000. California Penal Code Section 115.5a. Every person who makes a false sworn statement to a notary public, with knowledge that the statement is false, to induce the notary public to perform an improper notarial act on an instrument or document affecting title to, or placing an encumbrance on, real property consisting of a single-family residence containing not more than 4 dwelling units, is guilty of a felony. California Penal Code, Section 115 of 5B. Section 4. Forgery, signatures or seals, corruption of records. Every person who, with the intent to defraud, counterfeits or forges the seal or handwriting of another is guilty of forgery. California Penal Code, Section 470B. Every person who, with the intent to defraud, falsely makes, alters, forges, or counterfeits, utters, publishes, passes, or attempts or offers to pass as true and genuine any of the following items, knowing the same to be false, altered, forged, or counterfeited, is guilty of forgery, duress, or falsifies the acknowledgement of any notary public, or any notary public who issues an acknowledgement knowing it to be false, or any matter described in the above paragraph. California Penal Code Section 470D. Forgery is punishable by imprisonment in the state prison or by imprisonment in the county jail for not more than 1 year. California Penal Code Section 473. Section 5. Perjury. Every person who, having taken an oath that he or she will testify, declare, depose, or certify truly before any competent tribunal, officer, or person in any of the cases in which the oath may, by law of the state of California, be administered, willfully and contrary to the oath, states as true any material matter which he or she knows to be false, and every person who testifies, declares, deposes, or certifies under penalty of perjury in any of the cases in which the testimony, declarations, depositions, or certification is permitted by law of the state of California under penalty of perjury and willfully states as true any material matter which he or she knows to be false, is guilty of perjury. California Penal Code, Section 118. Persons who appear before a notary public who do not tell the truth under oath or affirmation may be guilty of perjury. Applications for appointment as a notary public are executed under penalty of perjury. Misrepresentations or omissions in the application may be perjury. Perjury is punishable by imprisonment in the state prison for 2, 3, or 4 years. California Penal Code Section 126. Section 6. Conviction. If a notary public is convicted of a crime related to notarial misconduct, including the false completion of a notarial certificate or of any felony, the court must revoke the notary public's commission and require the notary public to surrender his or her notary public seal to the court, to be forwarded to the California Secretary of State with a certified copy of the judgment of conviction. California Government Code, Section 8214-8. Part F. Misdemeanors or possible misdemeanors. Section 1. Failure to deliver records to county clerk. If the notary public willfully fails or refuses to deliver all notarial records and papers to the county clerk within 30 days of resignation or removal from office, or within 30 days of commission expiration, if the notary public fails to be reappointed, the person is guilty of a misdemeanor and shall be personally liable for damages to any person injured by that action or inaction. California Government Code Section 829A. Section 2. Destruction, defacement, or concealment of records or papers. Any person who knowingly destroys, defaces, or conceals any records or papers belonging to a notary public is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable in a civil action for damages to any person injured as a result of the destruction, defacing, or concealment. California Government Code, Section 8221. Section 3. Improper notarial acts, solicitation, coercion, or influence of performance. Any person who solicits, coerces, or in any manner influences a notary public to perform an improper notarial act, knowing that act to be an improper notarial act, including any act relating to maintaining the official journal, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. California Government Code Section 82225A. Violations of this section include, but are not limited to, coercing or influencing a notary public to complete a false certificate of acknowledgement or jurat, coercing or influencing a notary public to not enter required information in the official journal, coercing or influencing a notary public to enter false information in the official journal, and coercing or influencing a notary public to falsely modify a journal entry. Section 4. Willful failure to perform duty relating to official journal or control notarial. Seal any notary public who willfully fails to perform any duty required of a notary public relating to the official journal, or who willfully fails to keep the seal of the notary public under the direct and exclusive control of the notary public, or who surrenders the seal of the notary public to any person not otherwise authorized by law to possess the seal of the notary public, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. California Government Code, Section 82281A. Violations of this section include, but are not limited to, willful failure to maintain the official journal, willful failure to notify the California Secretary of State within the time required by law if the official journal is lost, stolen, rendered unusable, or surrendered to a peace officer, willful failure to permit a lawful inspection or copying of the official journal, willful failure to keep the seal under direct and exclusive control, and surrendering the official journal to any person not authorized to possess it. Section 5. False certificate or writing by officer. Every officer, including notaries public, authorized by law to make or give any certificate or other writing is guilty of a misdemeanor if the officer makes and delivers as true any certificate or writing containing statements which the officer knows to be false. California Government Code, Section 6203. Section 6. Unlawful practice of law. Any person practicing law who is not an active member of the state bar or otherwise authorized pursuant to statute or court rule to practice law in this state at the time of doing so is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in a county jail or by a fine of up to $1,000 or by both fine and imprisonment. California Business and Professions Code, Section 6126. Part G. Infractions by notaries. Public. Both of these possible infractions require that the notary public willfully or deliberately fail to perform an action required by law. This is different from failing to perform an action through negligence. Section 1. Change of address. Willful failure to notify the California Secretary of State of a change of principal place of business. Address or residence address is punishable as an infraction by a fine of up to $500. California Government Code, Section 8235. Section 2. Name change. Willful failure to notify the California Secretary of State of a name change is punishable as an infraction by a fine of up to $500. California Government Code, Section 8236.